Hey, Ronnie,
Yeah, Lou.
what do you say we do a show on wine?
I don't want to do a show on wine.
Not that kind of wine.
The other kind. That's my
Oh,
favorite
okay.
kind.
Next. Hey, guess what?
What?
You're probably making mistakes with your wine that lead to big disappointment once the bottle is opened. Now, don't worry, you're not alone. Virtually everyone has popped a bottle of wine only to find with the first sip that something is horribly, horribly wrong. At least it was in a perfectly polished wine glass. Wine faults are a fact of life. As a sommelier once said, I've learned to be able to pick out a wine's faults and the vital steps needed to help stop wine from going off. That's a wine term.
Going off.
Going off. I'll share the how-tos and what to-dos for those moments when your bottle seems like a lost cause. Okay, Ronnie, let's say your wine is oxidized.
Okay. It's Friday night. You're
Yeah.
about to tuck in a delicious stew. You pop open your wine and fill your glass,
Yeah.
only to notice it doesn't look quite right. Instead of its typical brilliant hue, it looks a bit brownish. As you bring the glass to your nose, you inhale the aromas, you immediately notice the wine has lost its freshness and smells more like bruised fruit, or worse, vinegar.
What's the culprit?
The culprit? Oxidation.
Ah.
Yeah.
Some styles of wine are deliberately oxidized. The most famous example is sherry.
I know her.
I know sherry.
Yes, we do.
You know, I don't make that up. But you can find plenty of examples in other corners of the wine world. And while a little oxygen in wine can be a good thing, it's the reason we let our wines breathe. Too much can spell disaster. Both red and white wines can fall victim to oxidation, but white wines are slightly more prone. Put the brakes on oxidation by storing your wine on its side so that the contents keep in contact with the cork. If it's too late, you can always make a tasty vinaigrette. Now, Ronnie, let's say your wine has been cooked.
Okay, well, we're not talking about Breaking Bad here.
Oh yeah.
Maderization takes its name from the Portuguese fortified wine, Madeira, which is heated to create its unique flavors. While delicious, when your standard table wine meets too much heat, the results leave something to be desired.
Yeah.
Also known as cooked wine, this is what happens when wine has been subjected to high temperatures. Look for jammy cooked fruit and nutty aromas. That doesn't sound tasty in wine at all.
You're nutty.
Again, prevention is key. Keep your wine in a dark, cool room.
That's where I like to drink.
That's a great place
In
to
a
drink.
dark, cool room.
Yeah, or your car out in the driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a dark, cool room free from dramatic temperature fluctuations. This means that kitchens, attics, and the trunk of your car are definitely off limits.
Damn.
Yeah, sorry.
Your wine smells like matchsticks.
Ugh.
Sulfur is used during winemaking to help keep the wine from oxidizing and to kill off any lingering yeast and bacteria. It's a food preservative found in many of the things we enjoy and helps keep our food fresh and unspoiled.
And we're in luck because sulfur is pretty damn simple to fix. It's as easy as a quick decant. Pour your wine into a decanter and gently give it a quick swirl or two. Let the wine stand for a few minutes, then go ahead and pour it into your glass. By now, any sulfur-derived odors should have blown off, and you can carry on drinking as if nothing happened at all.
That's a good tip right there.
Yeah.
So let's say, God forbid, your wine smells like a barnyard. Consider a boon to some and a bust for others. Brettasomites can make your wine smell like something straight off the ranch. Often abbreviated to Brett, it's a type of yeast which can infiltrate your wine and make it, for lack of a better word, kind of funky. Barnyard, horse blanket, and mouse are some of the common ways folks describe it.
Unlike most other wine faults on the list, Brett can sometimes be a good thing. In certain wines, it actually adds complexity to the overall flavor and aromas in your glass. In a nutshell, it really depends on the style of wine being made and what you, as a wine lover, love to sip on. These wines are killer with gamey type dishes.
Huh, interesting. Your wine is corked. Oh, the dreaded cork taint. Is there anything worse than bringing home a bottle of wine only to open it up and discover it's corked? Talk about one way to ruin an evening. Cork taint is caused by a chemical compound that gives off an unmistakable odor, the telltale wet cardboard scent. Other red flags include muted fruit aromas and flavors and a general musty character. Oh, there's nothing I hate more than that smell and taste. Don't worry though, it is safe to drink. It just won't taste very good. And good news, it wasn't your fault.
Well, that's good to know. You can do to fix a bottle once it's corked. While most believe only 1 to 3% of all bottled sealed with natural cork are tainted, the best way to avoid the problem is by seeking out wines which use a synthetic cork or are bottled under a screw cap. That seems like not very good wines typically
like
come with a
Boone's
screw
Farm.
cap. Yeah, stuff we drank in high school.
Yeah.
If you do find yourself with a corked bottle on your hands, stuff the cork back in the neck and return it to the store where you purchased it.
Huh. Will they take that back?
Costco would, I know for sure.
Well, they'll take anything back.
Yeah.
But I mean, like what is it? Liquors and More or whatever?
Bevmo.
Bevmo.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I know half the bottle's gone, but
It wasn't very good.
it was corked.
It's corked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it had a cork when I bought it, and I should have bought a screw top.
Yeah.
But I'd like to bring this back.
Yep.
Unfortunately, there isn't much you can do about many wine faults. The best chance you have for making sure your wine is the best it can be is prevention. Store your wine the right way and always buy wine from a wine merchant you trust. Yeah, I'm going to go out of my way to do that. When in doubt, always have a backup bottle on hand. Now that's a good idea. If you decide to go to the boxed wine, here are some tips. Don't do it.
That's the greatest tip ever.
Yeah, and I don't have to have any more tips than that
No.
right there. Now, do you... Okay, this is live. Look at him. Look at that picture.
I think I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, Ronnie, do you like to have wine with a dinner now and again? Because you're not much of a drinker.
I'm not much of a drinker, but we have found a winery down near Lodi
Oh, yeah.
that Vicky is a subscriber or a member, and we get, God, I forget what it is, 4 bottles of wine every quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But we have relatives down in Lodi, and so we typically, and you have to pay for shipping, we typically just drive down there when we're going to see our relatives, and we pick up our 4 bottles. Unfortunately, there's only one of their varieties that we really, really enjoy. And so we don't really stray too far from that particular bottle of wine.
I see. Do you have it with a particular dish or a favorite or something?
Yeah, it's street barbecues to watching Jeopardy. It's fitting with all of those.
Well, I mean, I'll give you an example, and God knows I'm really not. There was a day and a time when, and I can tell you that story too. Ronnie will remember, he was there. There was a day and a time when I used to drink wine, and I almost preferred it over beer. Not so much anymore. But flash forward to today, when we have like a scampi, or we have maybe a tilapia, or something seafood.
Salmon.
Oh, salmon, yeah. Man, Ronnie, it's making my mouth water. A great glass of Chardonnay that has that buttery taste to it. Oh my gosh, there is just nothing better as an accent. It makes the food taste that much better.
It is. And, we actually went to an event where they paired chocolates with
I've
wines.
heard of that, yeah.
Wow. I mean, it was completely over the top. It was amazing. I mean, I'm a chocoholic.
Me too.
I would eat chocolate 24/7. There's really, I don't think there's anything better on the planet than chocolate. But right behind it, a good wine is, and these pairings were really well thought out because they God, they just blended so well together.
Oh yeah, it's a science.
Science.
My heart wasn't in that one. I will tell you that this story. Many years ago, the band that we are in, this was back in 1978, I think, and I was probably 19 and Ronnie was 21.
I was just 21.
We had been asked to play at our high school that we graduated from years before, to bring the band back and play. And we went all out for this because we rented equipment.
Yo, that's right.
Okay, and we killed it. We played a great show at the school, and we thought to ourselves, well, you know, we have all this PA equipment and amplifier equipment for the whole day. We've rented it. We should get our money's worth. And at that time, my mom and her husband were both working, so there was nobody at their house in the garage. So we set up out there, and before we started playing, we sent Ronnie to the liquor store.
That's right.
And we would drink Robert Mondavi Gamay Rosé. And we probably bought about 4 bottles. Now, this was a hot spring day. It was probably like 89, 90 some degrees. And we're playing in this hot garage and drinking wine right out of the bottle.
It's the best way. Well, at least it was back then.
We played for hours.
Yeah,
we played for 4 or 5 hours.
And drank for hours.
For sure.
Yep.
I was so hammered that I actually passed out on the front lawn.
I
And I'm
remember.
not proud of this.
Yeah.
But the worst part of this story, my dear mother, God bless her soul, came home from work, pulled up into the driveway, only to find her son passed out on the front lawn of Eastern Avenue with cars going by thousands at a minute, you know.
Pretty good thoroughfare.
A good pace, yeah.
Yeah.
And here's this big scene of these people all drunk, and oh my gosh, we were drinking that Gamay Rosé. They don't make that anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's a shame.
I know.
Yeah. Because
Man.
it was smooth.
It's smooth.
It was smooth. Yeah.
All right, Ronnie. So a good glass of wine, you know, it really can take care of a lot of the stress that you
boy.
have.
Yeah.
And sitting down watching Jeopardy.
Yes.
What is Gamay Rosé? All right, that's the end of another episode of Men Are Too Smart.
We're wine smart, at least.
I thought you were going to whine the whole show.
I'm not going to whine.
All right, to your health. Okay, thank you so much for watching Men Are So Smart.
Salute.
Any information that you would like about Ronnie or myself, you will find below. Our blogs, our social media. You know what? You're due for a blog.
I am.
Check out our blogs. I think you'll find them entertaining. It's a chance for us to both kind of speak individually as opposed to the duo that we record in. So it's Ronnie's thoughts on things and my thoughts on things. I think we call them both. Here's what I think.
Mine is the way I see it.
Oh, okay, good. All right,
Yes.
which is
Same
essentially the same
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll find that information below, along with links to our sponsors and everything else you might want to know. That'll about do it. Please subscribe to our channel. It's very important to us. We need to boost up that subscriber. Tell your friends. Insist that they subscribe to the show.
Couldn't be easier.
You know how funny it is.
Yeah.
2 old guys sitting around talking about stuff.
Yeah.
What a niche.
Piece of cake.
Nobody else does it.
Not this
I
one.
wonder
at least.
why.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next time on this show. It's called Men Are So Smart.